Let's get into it. It's crime o'clock, yeah, feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick-tock, won't stop, let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah, it's crime o'clock. Clock, clock, yeah. Typically new, neon signs glow, brick wall behind me. Headlines loud, but they never define me. They rush the story, skip the proof. I slow it down, let it show the truth. Files on deck, read every line. Timestamps matter, so does time. If it don't fit, I don't force the frame. Ask one question, whole story change. No fear my voice, no need to shout. Paper speaks when you read it out. If the math's off, I'll circle twice. Truth ain't loud, but it ain't nice. Yeah. Read it again. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Pull up real close, yeah. It's crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Read it again. They sell a narrative if I sell receipts. Courtroom quiet, but the pages speak. Word for word, no added spin. Let it stand, yeah, let that sink in. Screenshot save, timeline's tight. Missing pieces keep me up at night. If they say alleged, I say why. If they say case closed, I say try. No rush here, we do it right. Truth don't bend for the likes of hype. If you came for noise, you in the wrong spot. This is evidence, this is crime o'clock. Clock, clock, clock. Stay with me. This isn't background noise. This is pattern recognition. This is documents. This is crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock, yeah. Feel that sound. Typically unique when the truth comes out. Tick tock, won't stop. Let the facts talk. Say it with me now. Crime o'clock. It's crime o'clock. Typically unique. It's crime o'clock. Yeah. If you're here, you're early. If you're listening, you're paying attention. Show starts now.
Hello, welcome back to Crime O'Clock on Typically Unique. How's everybody doing today? I'm great, and I am ready to get into it, you guys. Hey, Amethyst Noir, great to see you. Hey, Mike, if you're still listening, I know there's so many people live right now. That's why I backed this up a little bit, but hey, the show must go on. Hey, Alicia. So hopefully people will be joining in, but today I am giving my theory on why Bryan. I feel like, this whole entire time we've just been questioning everything we're seeing as far as any evidence that gets released in these reports. You guys all know all the questions that we have. And now with this book about to come out, we are on a 6-day countdown for the book release for Broken Plea by Christopher Whitcomb. And trust me, I am reading everything I can and watching channels that are talking about it and taking it all in, taking notes. I already have pages and pages of notes, questions, things like that. I am going to start making content about that, but I personally am waiting until the book officially releases, just because I know publishers and publishing companies can be very picky about information that comes out too early, things like that, copyrights, stuff like that. So I'm not playing with that. I might mention some things just because it's out there, but I don't want to break those rules. So, yeah, I'm coming up. I sat down last night and I've always had these thoughts in my head and I'm like, I need to write this out. I need to put it on paper and really see if it makes sense. I even sent it to somebody and was like, "Hey, pick this apart, try to get some feedback." Of course, Carlos could do that for me, but I did not go there yet. He knows I'm hypothesizing though. But why now? Because everything that we are seeing has gone from, in my opinion, has gone from contradictory to just flat out different. And to me, that there's a difference. There's a big difference there. Not necessarily like the opposite of what was said, but just completely different. So, and then official reports. So what's going on here? What's going on? And I'm going to start with something that was mentioned in the first chapter, that it is available online. I don't know if that link was necessarily meant for the general public. However, it's not blocked. The general public has access to it. So I don't know. I don't know about that. So something that I've heard people talk about in that is the butterfly effect. So apparently the author is making a metaphor, an analogy to something that actually came from weather people, meteorologists that study weather. And there's this phenomenon that they call the butterfly effect. So I want to start with that, and you're going to have to give me a second. I have been, one of my goals is to get everything lined up on here for my live to go smoother. So you don't have to sit here and wait for me so much to share my screen and click videos, and try to make it go as fast as I can. However, I am at my channel right now. I'm clicking on my playlist. What is it telling? What does it say? What does this say? Includes, okay. So apparently I saved a video that includes paid ad endorsements. So, okay. What do I got to do? It says, when a creator tells us that their video contains a paid promotion, we'll display a disclosure at the beginning of the video. Paid promote. Okay. I'm fine with that. It doesn't say don't show it. What do I got to click on? Go back to YouTube. This is exactly what I didn't want to happen. Your channel. Okay, I got it. I think I was clicking on the wrong part. All right. Thank you for your patience. So that's good. We got that. Getting to that butterfly effect, little clip. And then how is it related to the Idaho 4 case? So I'm going to start off with that. There we go.
Small change in one, ultimately resulting in a significant impact elsewhere. An illustrative example of the butterfly effect comes from meteorology. It is said that the flap of a butterfly
All right, here we go.
What is the butterfly effect? The butterfly effect is a concept from chaos theory that suggests small, seemingly insignificant events can have profound and unpredictable consequences in complex systems. The idea is that a small change in one part of a system can lead to a cascading series of events, ultimately resulting in a significant impact elsewhere. An illustrative example of the butterfly effect comes from meteorology. It is said that the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil could set off a chain of atmospheric events that leads to a tornado in Texas. The small initial disturbance, the butterfly's wings, influences the initial conditions of the atmosphere, and as these conditions evolve, they can amplify into larger-scale weather patterns. What is the butterfly effect?
All right. Simple enough. Put those butterflies in that chat. Hey, Mike. So interesting that someone from the FBI who has looked at evidence that we have not been able to see, unredacted evidence, files, would make a comparison from the Idaho 4 case with the Idaho 4 case with this butterfly effect. So, meaning one little action, one tiny, you would think it's insignificant, right? The flap of a butterfly, insignificant, could start like a triggered domino effect that ends up having a massive event, culminating activity like a tornado or a hurricane. So relate that to the Idaho 4 case. Could it be one little mistake? One little mistake could impact so much in this case that it ends up just destroying the whole case. Is it a now you have to think, what's that one little butterfly flap in this case? Is it a mistake? Is it a lie? Is it something hidden? Put your thoughts in the chat. What, in this case of Idaho 4, would be the butterfly flap? I think that's a great question for us to ponder and brainstorm some things, be on the lookout. I mean, I guess we've already seen so much, so time to reflect back to that, right? Non-truths. Yeah. Hi, Juror 13. How flapping tongues spread this case across the world, right? Flapping tongues, flapping lips. One other thing that I heard the author Christopher Whitcomb mention in I think it was DA that was playing like little teasers that he was playing, because Devil's Advocates is getting one of the first, if not the first, interview with the author. So that's amazing. So he has these little teasers, and the author was speaking how he has not been on social media. He doesn't know what we're saying here on YouTube. And I like that. Kind of like has his own fresh, not influenced perspective on the case. So I see that part of it. However, I think I'm even going to put a tweet out about this. He doesn't understand, in my opinion, if he hasn't been on here, is he aware of how the FOIA requests are going? Is he seeing that whole ordeal? Would that influence his thinking about anything? Is he assuming that things have been released that have not really been released because he's able to see it? Does he know? So yeah, the FOIA requests, the redactions. Does he know all the redactions that? I mean, I always bring up in the one interview that I recently heard with one of the Sigma Chi guys that they redacted a question. Like, how can you redact the question? So maybe in the beginning being like untarnished, talking about Christopher Whitcomb, the author, not being influenced by any discussions going on social media is a good thing. But maybe after the book comes out, like, and he is, interviewing with YouTubers. So, I think it might be a good idea for us to start bringing that up to him, raising some of these other concerns. So how difficult it's been with a closed case to get the information to prove the case, right? Feeling gaslit. Hi, Silent G. Yeah, like we were told completely so many things that, like, just trust us. Just believe it. Okay, it's in a document. I want to believe what's in a document, right? And then here now we're hearing some things that are completely different. Completely different. Hey, Sleuther75. Love those geese emojis. Who is this guy? FBI agent. So I think that's pretty powerful to have someone in that position, probably with the connections that he has, at least looking at this case in a different perspective, right? So I think that's awesome. Amethyst Noir says it's important to never stop asking why. Yep. And listening to the intuitive voices. Yeah. Oh, the dead don't stop talking. It's just a different frequency. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Okay. I think I said hello to everybody. Hey, Steven. Good to see you. RJ Embry, I hope I said hello to you. Lori Davidson. Hello. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to share my theory, okay? And then after I share my thoughts, I'm going to show you, like, and talk through, like, where I'm going with this. It's a working theory. So anything can be, like, contradicted, changed, added to at any time. It could be completely dismissed, right? That's what you do when you do research. And then I have some articles to support, I think, at least my thoughts, where I got my thoughts from, and ending with the video. I think I started to show it yesterday, but I have to apologize. Yesterday, I had the plumbers showing up at my house, and I had to keep leaving to go check on them. And so I think I started the video, let it play, but I didn't really get to sit here and interact with it with you. So Gary Jenkins, we're going to end with him because his information that's come out with Washington State University Police has kind of got me on this track. So, yeah, please take a moment as you're coming in to hit the like button if you would. Subscribe if you haven't, so you can get notified. Hit that notification bell. Make sure it's set to all so it will notify you when I do go live. I try to stick to weekdays at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. At least keep that time in mind. Sometimes I back it up a little bit depending on what's going on, if I'm running late or something like that, but I will usually keep you posted on that. RJ Embry says, yeah, either that or the leak investigation is over. Timing is odd. Oh, the leak. Okay. Yeah, that's the whole other thing with the Dateline leak. Carlos and I were talking about the case the other day, and he was trying to mention something that he saw, and he's like, oh, it was probably on 2020 because I'm not allowed to talk about Dateline. And I said, yeah, Dateline's canceled. Dateline's canceled. Just joking. Just joking. Oh, okay. I got this pulled up. So, I'm using my projector, you guys. So we're going to do this in real time. I have to pull it up. I practiced how to get this going. There we go. You can see it. You have to share your window when you're doing this. So get this going up here. Now I won't be able to see chat. Move. There we go. Actually, I'll cover me so I can see what you guys are saying. Kind of odd. His FBI buddy just sent him all these docs. I don't know if I've heard conflicting information about that. I do think that in that leaked and it's not leaked, in that posted preview of the book, I think he does mention receiving information from his FBI buddy. I can't remember how it's worded. But I've also heard people speculating. I think it's just speculation because if he does claim that he got like all the documents and files and stuff, like, where does that come from? I don't know. I'm not mad about it. Someone needs to get that stuff. So I'm happy about that. All right. So, my question about this is why Bryan? Okay. So this is what led me to this. If we are seeing all this information, that's what I put on my thumbnail, like pretty much, you guys, not at 4 a.m., but pretty much. I think that sheath, it would have been, I think there's enough coming out or gonna come out or that we've already seen that like the like even like Glitch DNA's lab has talked about the DNA and all that stuff. They even said they weren't going to use it in court. Trash that knife sheath, okay? There's still the question of how Bryan's DNA got on it, but trash the knife sheath, okay? I'm pretty sure there are a lot of YouTubers out here that have debunked the car, right? All the video sightings that we've seen about the car, throw the car out, okay? And his cell phone being turned off is suspicious. It's curious, but it does not put him at the house and it does not make you a killer. So maybe I should have like half taken the phone off the list, but that's what they had, right? All they got is pings. We haven't seen any direct location data to put him at that house. So in my opinion, they don't have any evidence. So then if they don't have any evidence against Bryan, why Bryan Kohberger? Why not the real killers? Why aren't they going after the real killers? So I went back to what we were originally told, right? Targeted attack. Okay. So I'm kind of on the path that if you say the house is the target, only because I don't have a clear opinion right now. I have some ideas. I see different reasons for the 4 victims to be the target. A reason that it would not be the house is because you have 2 residents who were left alone, right? So I am trying to discredit some of my thoughts. So if it's not the house, the whole house, right? It's because of Dylan and Bethany being left alone. However, a lot of people question if they were there or not. And we have not seen hard data to show us that they were there. Okay. So I'm just leaving this here. those 4 victims could have been targets for maybe the umbrella of the same reason if it's drug related, but maybe they have different roles in why they would be targeted or something like that, right? Teacher mode. Hey, Blue Devil. Hello, hello. All right. So my thought is it's because of that. Okay. And let me do this so you guys can see it better. I'm looking at my phone so you can see it. Wait till it catches up. My screen, if you can see it okay. There we go. Is it blurry? Nope, it looks okay. All right. So if that's the reason, okay. So here's how I think people would be involved. So we have the frats. And I've kind of been building up to this, doing several episodes on the cartel in general. I don't think there's a kingpin that like was necessarily worried about a little house in Moscow, Idaho. But I do think that something could have happened along like that butterfly effect could have happened down the chain that, something happens with money, snitching, retribution, different ideas like that. Okay. So, how do the frats play? I don't think frat boys did the actual killing or frat people did the actual killing, but I do think that they definitely buy and sell. Okay. So that would be a connection, right? Raise your hand, please, in the chat if you have a question. Okay. You guys chime in, ask me questions, whatever you want, but I just want to share this with you. All right. All right. Hey, Lucy. I'm just scrolling up, looking at your chats real quick. I know Lana has Hector the projector. I actually bought the same exact projector she has because I loved it. So, what do they say? When someone copies you, it's like the best form of flattery. I'm not gonna name it though. That's her thing. Sororities are the stash and fraternities are the distribution. Well, that could be. That's an idea. All right, so we got the frats. Now, like I said, the cartels, the kingpin. I did an episode on Ryan Wedding, and he actually was associated with, I believe, the Sinaloa cartel, which is if the drugs that run through this area of the country are definitely connected to them. And he was just arrested. The kingpin associated with that cartel was just arrested this last January. Like it was recent, just this last January. And it takes a long time to like go up the chain to get people, right? So I'm gonna call this part the ring, right? It's gonna be more local. It's gonna be the people that are bringing it into that area, distributing it, mid-level, right? So they're gonna be supplying. And I think these are the people that would get upset because they are closer to having to answer to the big dogs, right? So if they mess up or if someone down the chain over here messes up, then they're going to have an issue and they're going to deal with it. right? That's how it works. We know that. And who could be those mess ups? I think it's pretty well known that we have, hate to say this, but it's true. We have a couple parents, right, that are messed up in that. Maybe not currently, but they have been in the past. Okay. So I think there's a good reason for, and the reason I say that is because there are other creators who have gotten hold of court records with a couple of the parents. And we also know that one of them in particular had decades of arrests. And if you know anybody who has been in trouble in this world, in this drug world, you can only get out of jail so many times, right? Until they're going to put you away for a long time. And I think decades of multiple arrests is questionable. So how are you still out? You know? And then that could possibly be that type of information, snitching, whatever you want to call it, something like that. This is my thinking. And then I have, remember, these are going to the drugs. We have this one. I'm putting some controversial things up here. And how could they be connected? Well, I was listening to one of Truth and Transparency's old lives that she had done probably 2 years ago or so. She knew back then to look into Washington State University, and she was looking at their programs, and they have a program called how did they call it? Protection Fail. Why did I write that down? It's a program where it had to do with pills, okay? And it was like a pill where they will take them back, right? They're like confiscation, like they're confiscating them, and they're like prescription pills, right? So they're taking them off the street. And she had all this data and information about the specific program. And then looking at the data they had about how much they were taking off the street, and then they incinerate it, and it went by weight, right? And there was, you can see on the chart, I actually screenshotted the actual chart. Every year they had numbers in the like 300s, 400s, 500s, 400s, and then one year, which happens to be the year that was 6 months, where I want to say his last name was Duke, was the chief. I could have that name wrong. And then Gary Jenkins takes over. And that year was 2019. And that year had like significantly lower, like 250 or something. So that they were incinerating, I think. So the numbers just didn't match up. I'm probably not explaining it exactly correct. That I will come back with that on another episode to explain it better. But how would they be involved? Okay, it could be with the pill portion of it. And I mean, all we heard was Adderall when they were questioning the fraternities, right? You might be related to Lucy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I think I deleted my live from yesterday because I tried to edit it in the YouTube studio, and I hate you. Next time YouTube sends me a survey for feedback, like I wish they would fix their editor. Like, it's horrible. And it takes too long. Like after every edit, you got to wait like an hour for it to like upload. Like, come on. So anyways, I got frustrated. It cut out the wrong part of my second live yesterday. I did two. I just had a lot of dead air because we were waiting for the parents to speak for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And so I wanted to take the dead air out and it messed up. So I deleted it. But I see you guys talking about the plastic pants in the comments. And we just did a lot of laughing on that live yesterday. So I did download it. I'm going to edit it and I'll put it back up later. So if you want to laugh later tonight, check that out because we had some funny moments. Hi, Momo's thinking. Hello, hello. You're listening while you're driving, Witchy. Be careful. And Kane. I didn't say hello to Kane. I always yell his name. All right. So law enforcement, they could be involved with this portion of it. And, I hate to say it, but there are instances where, if you are a corrupt, this is just speculating, and I'm not saying this is what happened for sure at Washington State University. I'm just saying that we know that there are officers that get involved with corruption, and an easy way to make money could be like putting the pills back out on the street, something like that. Just an idea. So that could be possibly supplying, right? It could be that they knew about the ring and a threat. If they knew about a ring and a threat and they were supposed to be protecting, there could have been a protection failure, right? If they were supposed to be protecting those kids. I do believe on that one body cam footage with Lanier that you can hear him say CI. I feel like I hear that. Okay. Some people say they don't. And there are also many, many, many cases. I need to cover more of them. I think I've covered one, maybe. I'm not sure. I know about them. I need to do a video on them. Many college. Oh, yes, I did do the Minnesota kid. He was a confidential informant, and they don't train you. They put demands on you. And I'm talking about they as in the police when they busted this college kid for drugs. They overcharge him to scare him, to turn him into a confidential informant, and then they make them do controlled buys, and it puts them in dangerous situations, and that kid got killed. It happens. So it could be something like that. These are my theories. I'm hypothesizing. And we also know it is verified that you don't have a cartel unless you are paying off police, judges, lawyers. I don't know. It could go on and on. They probably got bankers. Who knows? And that is verified. When I covered the Ryan Wedding case, he had an attorney paid off. Ryan Wedding was living in Mexico. White guy from Canada, you guys, living in Mexico, and he was the kingpin. It's hilarious. But he paid off an attorney back in the United States, and that attorney would tip him off. Like if someone was snitching or, hey, yeah, this guy's snitching, take him out. Like an attorney literally telling him who to take out. Okay. It happened. All right. So these are the 4. So we've got frats. We've got a ring. We've got parents. And we've got law enforcement. So I feel like there's four ways that that could have been the reason for this happening. Okay, that make more sense than like a random crazy person picking a house on a dead end road that they'd never been to before just because they feel like doing that. Okay. Okay. So if this makes more sense like it does to me for why this would happen, and we've seen all the evidence come out, and I don't think that at trial that they would have been able to convict Bryan Kohberger beyond a reasonable doubt, then my question next is why BK? Why BK? You guys, I could make this like real school like. This is what I used to do. We have to change colors to make things pop out. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to look at some of your comments if you're addressing anything I'm sharing. Amy Conway, hello. Hey, Christina. I know I've seen so many people getting like, and I don't blame people like getting angry at this point. Like I even said my thinking, I was pretty hesitant about talking about this kind of stuff or, really putting people on blast, and at this point with all we've seen, I'm like, forget that, man. Having fun with my new toy. It's I love doing this. Like, I don't know. I think it's a good visual to go with what I'm instead of just talking, What else? Oh, Glenn, you agree. Thank you. Momo's thinking you think it could have been a crime of opportunity. What's the opportunity? If there were no cars in the driveway and a couple girls are home alone, I could see that as an opportunity. Okay. Going forward. So why BK? So yesterday I started sharing a lot about him being, we know he's a criminology student. And a lot of times when you get a degree, you specialize in something, right? So he specialized in like one of his specializations was cloud-based forensics. And yesterday I played the interview with Catherine Ramslin, and she talked about him going out to Idaho to be able to do things like this, right? And to me, I felt like this was kind of like a mission, right? Like a purpose. So my thoughts are, even if he didn't get that, so he got that internship. I'm just going to call it an internship. They changed it. It's not called an internship anymore. It's called, a leadership assistant. And that would be working with WSU PD. Right? Because they're saying he didn't get it. We didn't hire him for that. We didn't get that. Okay. I don't believe you. I don't believe them. That's one of the things where like I'm getting a little harsher about saying things. Like I just don't believe them anymore. Because things that are even in their official documents are looking, they're not true. They're not true. So I greatly question if he got that. All right. And then I also feel like even if he didn't get the official position, if he didn't get it, how many doctoral teachers assistants do you think are in the criminology department at any given time? I would think if you're at that university for 4 years and let's say they bring in 4 every year, I don't know how many they would bring in every year. 2 every year, 8 at the most. Silent G says 6. So, yeah, it's not like they have 55 teachers assistants, right, in the doctoral program. They have a handful. They have a handful. So, they're gonna know each other. They're gonna be working on the same things together. They're in the same program. They're completing the same coursework. Maybe they have different specializations, things like that. But my thought is, if he didn't get it, he would still know. Whoever got it, he would still know what they were doing. They'd be talking about it, maybe working on it together. And I will share where I got this from. I'm going to share the information where I got this from. So either way, whether Bryan got that position officially or not, I think just being a criminology student at WSU, there could be some crossover working with WSU PD. Because they even got an award for that assistantship program. Like they were very proud of it. And one of the main things that they use these students for is research. They're using those students to do research. So my thought was, what if Bryan stumbled upon something, right? He's doing research. He's the one either hired to do the research or he's just associated with the person who's doing the research, okay? And they stumble upon damning information. Right? They stumble upon corruption. Just a theory, just a thought, just speculating. Because this makes more sense to me for a reason for the murders. And he does not make sense. So, but they're putting it on him. Or his DNA is on that little sheath. Why would he be there if he didn't commit the crime, but maybe he's driving around? And maybe he knew something was happening. Okay. So this is a big speculation, right? Especially talking about that word right there. This one is a big speculation. So, but we have things that are known. We have known corruption. Okay. And one of the things I'm going to add to this working theory is to find more of this. More of what is known. Okay. So right now, I just know that there was that sex scandal with the WSU officer. And it became a scandal because apparently the leadership at and if I accidentally say WSU police and it was Pullman police, Moscow works together with their campus police and their campus police and their city police. So I'm assuming Washington probably does the same. Just like Gary Jenkins, he was a chief for the Pullman police, and then he became the chief for the Washington State Police, University Police. So they had this scandal, and I believe it was 3 people that were in their leadership, that were in charge, like sergeants, captains, whatever their position was. They got to retire before there were any consequences handed down, and they retired. They were going to get in trouble because they knew and didn't report it, like busted for knowing and not reporting it, like crazy. All right, I dropped it. So we do know this. We know that there is this stuff, and I'm sure you can let me know in the chat what else is known. And I've just been focusing on WSU, but I'm sure we could add MPD into this also. Okay. Hi, Karmic Retribution. Pay attention, Kane. Pay attention. I'm sending you to the office. No, do you know what I do, Kane? Here's what I do. I would say, you can do it now or you can do it at recess. Do you want to pay attention now or do you want to pay attention at recess? I'm given a choice, hey, given a choice. Okay, so that's known corruption. Then how about possible? So maybe not proven, but could be. Could be. And that's where that comes in. That's where the pills come in. All right. So I told you this was 2019. And the numbers didn't match. So is there something there? Right? Is there something there? I don't know. Something to look into. We all know what happens at recess. Hey, let me tell you, I used to play tag with my kids on the playground. At one time, I went to tag a kid and I was going full motion, like full speed, and I swiped at him and he dodged me and I fell flat on my face on the playground and ended up with a workers' comp and had to go to the chiropractor and jack my back up from playing tag. That was the end of that. That was the end of me playing tag. That's funny. You called it tapped? Yeah. We called it RCK. Do you guys know what RCK is? RCK? Anybody remember that from elementary playground time? Oh, really, Lori? Oh, that's it. I have to pull up a picture of her. Yeah, I thought I was like knocked out for a second. Oh my gosh. Okay, RCK was run, catch, kiss. Detention. Hey, beach babe. Hi, beach babe. All right. That was a nice little laughter break. All right. So we've got known corruption, possible corruption. I'm just trying to like verify for you guys where my thoughts came from with this, right? Okay. So why Bryan Kohberger? So I still think there's a possibility that he got that assistantship. Okay. When we listened to Catherine Ramsland yesterday talk about him, like I was going like sentence by sentence, everything that she was saying. And she really portrayed him as an excellent, knowledgeable student. Nothing weird. And I talked in depth about how she's like the number one national expert on serial killers. And most importantly, her work has focused on finding those red flags. That's why she studies them. The whole point of her studying them is to be able to identify these people before they commit the crimes. I mean, they have been studying these serial killers since the 80s at least. It's how many decades is that? 40? 4 decades, not 40, 4 decades. And you have a student in your class that people in the public are saying I have attributed or have demonstrated those signs, and you're the national expert and you didn't see any of them. I don't know. That's weird to me. So I'm not backing off the fact that I think he got that assistantship. I think I showed some, and I'm going to show more today of why I think that, but his research could have led to finding corruption. And so then what if he because remember, he doesn't leave Pullman. Bryan Kohberger does not leave Pullman until December 15th. And I believe if they are on semesters, most college semesters go up to like that date, right? That week. So he would have still been working, at the university up until probably that week of the 15th of December when the semester ends. And then they usually get like a couple weeks off, right? A couple weeks off at winter time. So even after the crime, he could have found a connection, possibly. Or what if he found out about a threat? Like, to me, this would explain him driving around there. If they were to ever prove that he was driving around by the house. I saw something, but I'm not really sure what I saw, but I think it might be this. I'm curious what's going on. That kind of thing. You'll like this one. What if BK just he just pissed someone off? But why? Not, and I don't think it's something stupid like you're just annoying or no, I think like they're angry because he uncovered something. Right? And if all of that is true, then I think that makes him the perfect patsy. Right? I can't say any of this has happened for sure, I am just saying I'm looking at everything I have learned about this case and scenarios about these police departments and Bryan and all these events that I just wrote here, all these thoughts that I just wrote here. This is what is making sense in my mind. Okay. Hypothesizing. This is my theory. Following me? What if the CI is not substance related? I have not gone down that path. I don't what would be the other I think there's too much evidence for substances. That's why I'm focused on this. I know some people talk about like trafficking and stuff like that. I mean, this is trafficking, but like humans, I'm focused on this because I see the most, like all the questions they're asking Sigma Chi are about this. It's verified that these rings target universities. There's been huge busts in the country. We definitely know about the parents. This is complete speculation with law enforcement, even though we know it happens everywhere. Right? So I'm just thinking out loud. All right, so then at this point, I'm almost done, you guys, and then we'll look at my evidence. What do you guys think about this question? Why aren't they identifying the real killers? Why do we have unknown male B, C, D DNA? Why do we have an unidentified fingerprint on the back sliding door? Why do we have redacted missing time footage from the 1112 camera? Why don't they want to identify the real killers? You don't want me to be done. You haven't vacuumed yet. Hi, Sandra Kayoshi. Hello. Good to see you today. Jessie Lynn, I hope I said hello to you. Thank goodness you're not the only one. What? I'm backing up to see what's Lucy sharing with us. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, tell me my battery died for my mouse. No. I just bought some. Oh, there it goes. Please last. Okay. Has to be outsiders, protect students and their reputation. That's where we're thinking alike, Witchy. We are thinking alike. So basically, if they're not identifying the real killers, and to me, there's a lot of evidence, unidentified evidence hanging out there to support this speculation and this theory, then why is there a cover up, right? If you're not identifying the real killers, and you're saying it's somebody else that doesn't really have any evidence, solid, I will say solid, beyond a reasonable doubt evidence. Why? And we've been saying this for a long time. So either there's got to be something bad, right? There has to be something really bad that they don't want to be known. There's got to be something really bad that they don't want to be known. Okay. That's the only reason I'm saying this. I'm not like speculating these things just to be ridiculous. What would be really bad? Well, this would be really bad, right? And no one wants to get in trouble. No one wants to get in trouble. And I went over the reasons that this could possibly happen at the top of my little chart. Okay. Were they doing something with the pills that they were confiscating? Were they supposed to be protecting somebody and something went really wrong? Was there a confidential informant involved that was a college student and something went really wrong? Okay. Is there a payoff? Just thinking out loud, giving my opinions, my thoughts, my theories. That would be really bad. And the other thing that would be really bad is if the students, or we could say it would be really bad if someone associated with the campus or just this house alone is associated with the campus. So if there was something really bad with the students in that house, associated with that house, going in and out of that house, we've talked a bunch about that. They can't lose that campus. That campus can't look bad. If they lose students, the community suffers. If they get a bad reputation, the community suffers. Let's see. Starting in fall of 2022, the department is pleased to announce there are 2 3-year graduate research assistantships with the Pullman Police Department. And yes, the Pasco one. I did see that. I did not know that it was 2 of them, though. Bingo. Thanks, Lucy. That makes sense. I did see them mention that Pasco one, and I've never even heard that word before. So that's another thing to look into. The investigation supports that fact. Thank you. I think it was one assistantship application, but there were 2 locations that they used. I wonder, yeah. And that assistantship, I have information about it. I'll just wait till I share that. But that was a whole thing. They were very proud of that. Very proud of that. All right, so we got 2 bad things, law enforcement or the university, okay? We can't let that get out. We gotta, we're not getting in trouble for that. What about Bryan Kohberger? So if we blame it on Bryan Kohberger, if we blame it on him, right? I heard you guys say he's an outsider, right? He's not connected. We all of a sudden get rid of any drug issues. They go away. It has nothing to do with drugs. It's this crazy guy who was obsessed with serial killers that picked a random house and went in and just wanted to kill 4 people. So the drugs go away if we target Bryan. Anything suspicious or bad, I'm just going to say bad, about law enforcement goes away. That goes away. Nobody's looking at them. Nobody's looking at them anymore, and nobody's looking at this. So I'm just trying to answer that question. Why Bryan? And why not the real killers? Well, because we don't want this issue to be uncovered and we don't want anybody getting in trouble. And we have to save our community, which basically comes down to money, right? Money rules everything. Money rules everything. All right. Those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. So I started with, the reason for the crime. My personal idea. These are just my personal ideas of why this crime would have happened. Okay. So this is what I think. Gave all the connections. So then why would they focus on Bryan Kohberger? Gave all my reasons. Why aren't they targeting the real killers? Gave my ideas. And back to Bryan. Focusing on Bryan gets rid of all the bad stuff. So those are my ideas for motive, reasons, why nothing is matching in this case with the convicted person that they have right now. Yep. Hey guys, there's 106 of you in here. I'm going to go check how many likes I have. 46. 46 likes. Please take a moment if you wouldn't mind. It helps tell YouTube that, hey, people are in this live and they're enjoying it, and please share it out even if there's anybody you could invite on over here. Hey, Jen, Wisconsin. Hello. William Tardy. Good to see you. Holly Berry. The Holly Berry. Hello. Amy Conway. Thank you. Thank you. Good question. Were the parents interviewed? I've been wondering that too. William asked that. Were the parents interviewed? You would like to think so, but we've also learned don't assume anything. Don't assume anything, right? Okay. I have to change a couple settings. There we go. I don't know what this means, but interesting. Okay, now we're going to look at some of my supporting evidence. Let's look at this. Let's look at this program. Stop. There we go. There we go. Okay. So this says, and let's see the date on this. This is from the Daily Evergreen. Why is this so big? I must have blown up my... No, it's at 100%. That's crazy. Fellowship program created to give doctoral students experience with police department. June 4th, 2021. Pullman Police Department Chief Gary Jenkins said at the time the award application was filed for the fellowship program, there were 350 other applicants. So when this program first started, that's a lot of applicants. Is this the wrong one? Because they also have an internship where they do like I think it's undergrad people. This might be the wrong one. Hold on. Is this the wrong one? No, it says doctoral. A research fellowship program conducted by WSU and Pullman Police Department was awarded the Smart 50 Award at the end of May. The award recognizes innovation in government as it relates to improvising various outcomes, said David Macon, WSU Department of Criminal Justice and Criminology Associate Professor. Have we heard his name? David Macon. Is he one of the professors that was either supervising Bryan or writing complaints about Bryan? I don't remember. It's really about how local government business entities are innovating to be more efficient, more effective, and more equitable in their role, he said. Oh, this is talking about the grant. All right. So Washington State University wrote a application for a grant. 350 other agencies also applied for this grant. WSU was one of the top 50. Okay. And so this was a big deal. When we have some research needs, we have questions that we want answered, Jenkins said. Then that doctoral student will provide that research and assistance to us. Yes, this is why I saved this. This gives really good information. I make it bigger for you guys. Okay. Macon created the fellowship with the goal of helping to train doctoral students on how to work with police and what research can be done to benefit smaller departments like Pullman PD. This is really a fellowship to train graduate students to be able to work with these smaller departments on really important research that they need to really become better at what they do. Macon said this is a 3-year fellowship that runs from 2019 until 2022. And so the first candidate started in 2019, and then I think they brought on someone else in 2020, and then they brought on someone else in 2021, and then they would bring on someone else in 2022. Megan Parks, Public Safety Research Fellow, said she applied for the fellowship when it was just starting, around the same time she was applying for her doctoral program. Parks said her primary role is helping the police department make use of the data that they receive and engage with. Yes. This is why I thought this article was so important to share, because she was in the program. She worked in the program, and she's going to share what kind of work they do. So I think it's very interesting. I know. Where is Scully? I miss him. He might be in Hollywood checking out the David stuff. Hi, SRB. Hello. What am I looking for? Oh, yes, Beach Babe. I'm going to work on that. A Gerald magnet. Yep. I got you. I've been trying to find time to work on some stuff. All right. This has important information. I do things like help with grant writing and some evaluation research projects, she said. I've done some research. Okay, so she's done some research briefs and data briefs for the agency. So they're not saying what data, but she's getting into their information. She's analyzing the police department's data and then writing reports. She said working with the program is an awesome experience and she enjoys working with the police department. It's really kind of opened my eyes to a lot of these types of collaborations between the police firm and the university and just kind of bridging the gap. I think being able to be so involved with the police department has really been my favorite part. Oh, really? So if Bryan did get that internship, you get to be so involved with the police department. You get to be so involved with the police department and you get to do research and look at their data. Mhm. I know I wasn't sharing that with you. Oops. Yeah. All right. So again, that article was from the Daily Evergreen from 2021. Can I switch? Yes. Okay, let's look at this one. Police, what is this doing? Why do I get these pop-up ads? There we go. I don't want notifications. There we go. Police have no record of whether Bryan Kohberger was offered internship position months before the Idaho murders. This was written on Monday, February 13th. That was my daughter's birthday, February 13th, 2023. 2 months after Bryan was arrested. 2 months after Bryan was arrested. Who wrote this? The Independent. This is The Independent. The Independent filed a public records request with the Pullman Police Department earlier this year. This was written by Andrea. My glasses help me so much now. Like, oh my gosh, I can read. Andrea Blanco. They did a FOIA request early in 2023. So this was written in February. So what? They did it in January. They put in a FOIA request in January, right when Bryan was arrested. And the police have no record of whether Bryan was issued the internship, you guys. Oh my gosh. Reading your comments real quick. Whoops. Right, Lucy? Right, Lucy? Let's see what they have to say. The Washington, is this the right one? Yeah. And I will make it bigger. Some of you might like to try to see the text. The Washington State Police Department that interviewed Bryan Kohberger for an internship months before the Idaho murders has no documentation regarding whether he was offered the position. The Independent filed a public records request with the Pullman Police Department earlier this year, asking for any documents relating to Mr. Kohberger's application for the research assistantship for public safety position. One of the core goals of the request was to determine whether Mr. Kohberger had been offered the position, as the department had previously declined to answer that question. So this newspaper asked the department, I'm assuming the criminology department, no, the police department, asked the police department. And I mentioned this yesterday. I know there was a clip out there. I can't remember who it was. I kind of don't think it was Gary Jenkins. I think it was someone else. But they were asked by a news agency, did Bryan get the position? And the person said, I don't think I can answer that. I need to check with my attorney or an attorney. So I'm wondering if that's what they're talking about, that the department would not, they previously declined to answer that question. Okay, so now we're going to submit a FOIA request and we're looking for the records. A public records officer responded to the request with 10 documents on Friday, but with a major caveat. All right, so they got 10 documents. The Pullman Police Department does not have any documentation regarding whether or not Mr. Kohberger was chosen for this internship position, the officer stated in an email. And then it just tells what Mr. Kohberger is charged with. An affidavit for Mr. Kohberger's arrest revealed that he had applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department, which has played a significant role in investigating the murder case, meaning the Pullman Police Department has played a significant role in investigating the murder case. Last month, emails between Mr. Kohberger and then Chief of Pullman Police Department, Gary Jenkins, showed a brief exchange about the assistantship position for which Mr. Kohberger had applied last April. Okay, so they're saying last month. So then that means in January of 2023, because that's according to when they wrote this article. The documents turned over to the Independent last week show Mr. Kohberger was one out of 4 applicants for the job. 4 doctoral students. And what did we say in the chat? There was probably 6 doctoral students, so 2 of them didn't apply for it. Applicants were informed on August 22nd whether they were selected for the role. So someone found out on August 22nd, which was created to help support Pullman PD through data management and analysis. Mr. Jenkins, who no longer works for the department, no, he was working for Washington State Police, right? Gary Jenkins went from being the chief at Pullman Police Department to being the chief over at Washington State University. I don't know for how long, though. Mr. Jenkins, who no longer works for the department, told the Independent he had been advised not to comment on the matter when contacted on Monday. So it was Gary Jenkins. Although there is reportedly no email trail on Mr. Kohberger's job offer or a rejection. See, that's the key part. At least there should at least be a rejection letter. Why isn't there a rejection letter? I wonder if there's other rejection letters. Everybody has I'm speculating and I'm being funny. Everybody has a rejection letter except Bryan Kohberger. Wouldn't that be funny, you guys? Everybody has a rejection letter, but except Bryan Kohberger. Okay. The PhD criminology student at WSU sent an email to Mr. Jenkins following an approximately 45-minute online interview. He sent a thank you letter. Mr. Kohberger wrote that it was a great pleasure to meet with you today and share his thoughts and excitement. Mr. Jenkins replied that it was great to meet and talk with you as well. The internship had been previously mentioned by law enforcement in the affidavit for Mr. Kohberger's arrest. So, which is interesting, and I have that to pull up too. They put that in the affidavit. They put that in the affidavit. The affidavit was released on January 5th. It stated that Mr. Kohberger had written in an essay that he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. So in my opinion, I think they put it in the affidavit to make it look like, hey, here's this weirdo that's like super infatuated with crime and, all this stuff. And I don't think it panned out very well for them. Hey, Seahawks fan. Thanks for hopping in, joining. Good to see you. Good to see you. Are you serious, Wade Bird? Pullman had a cop series. Did you guys see the episode I did on the Nancy Guthrie case where their police department also had it was a reality show called like Desert, I don't know, Desert Cops. I don't know. It had a crazy name, but oh my gosh, I got to pull up the Washington one. That's funny. You'll add the link. Okay, awesome. All right. So if you're just hopping in, I am sharing information about the internship that I'm questioning if Bryan Kohberger was accepted to that or not. And this doc right here is saying that the independent news organization FOIA requested the documents about the internship and how did they word it? They didn't have, there was no email trail about Mr. Kohberger's job offer or rejection. So they just have nothing. They just have nothing. I mean, they probably have the application and the thank you letter, but that's it. Like no communication besides the thank you letter response. Okay. So around the same time that he applied to the internship, Mr. Kohberger also carried out a research project. See, I don't think this timeline's correct. I have other articles where it is stated that you apply for this internship like the semester before. Like you're not going to apply for it the semester that it starts. This was a long process. They had to read applications, interview people, make a decision. So I believe the date that Bryan Kohberger submitted his application was March of 2021, right? So it's the spring before he's going to be a student out there, a doctoral student. You apply for the program along with 3 other people who applied. He was not a student at that time. So he could, in my opinion, I don't think he's carrying out a research project to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision-making when committing a crime, unless he was doing it at his old university. Was he doing it back at DeSales? Maybe that's from DeSales. Okay, we'll give him that. He reached out to Redditors with a chilling survey resurfacing after his arrest on December 30th. In particular, this study seeks to understand the story behind your most recent criminal offense, with an emphasis on your thoughts and feelings throughout the experience. So I have a lot to say about this. Everybody's questioning, why was Bryan asking those creepy questions? Like, why do you want to know thoughts and feelings from criminals? That's exactly what Catherine Ramsland does with serial killers. She sits down with Dennis Rader, BTK, and she talks to them about what they were thinking, what they were feeling. And they do that because they're trying to get inside the mind of a serial killer to figure out how they work, how they think, so that they can start seeing patterns. They're trying to identify those red flags that could help them in the future. So Bryan's not a graduated expert yet that's hired by a forensic psychology company yet. He's a doctoral student. This is even before he's a doctoral student. He's a graduate student. He's a grad student who is probably starting to learn how to go about questioning the worst of the worst criminals. You're not going to go from 0 to 100, okay? When I was learning how to be a teacher, they didn't throw me in front of a classroom of 30 kids and say, have at it, right? Sorry, that was loud. You take baby steps. Right? So, okay, well, one of the first steps would be develop some questions, right? Can you learn how to ask good questions when you're trying to speak to a criminal and analyze a criminal? So creating a survey could be practicing coming up with questions, developing questions. It's also going to be analyzing the answers to those questions, right? When Catherine Ramsland sits down with Dennis Rader and asks him questions and she writes down the answers, she's got to go back and study those answers and analyze those answers and come to conclusions. And I'm sure there's a process of how you do that. And as a grad student in criminology, you have to learn how to do that. So all this like, oh my God, he put out a crazy survey. It's part of the learning process. What I haven't seen, what I would love to see is how many other doctoral students or grad students, criminology students put out surveys. They probably didn't put them on Reddit. You could do them. I had to do questionnaires all the time for classes and stuff like that. So sometimes it's like, go to people you know. It depends on what you're questioning, what you're doing. You can find, like in my case, like I would find a school that would cooperate with me. So I'm sure the other grad students didn't use Reddit, but they still probably did the same survey. That would be an interesting find, I think, just to prove it, just to prove that it wasn't crazy. It was an approved study. I'm telling you, that's like, you have to do that work. Like, you have to do it. The Reddit were the reposted ones. So you mean he didn't actually do the survey on Reddit? The Reddit survey lists other students. Yeah, it also sounded like it was a group project. It was a group project. It wasn't just Bryan Kohberger, right? But that's my point. Okay, if it was a group project and 4 people worked on that survey, how many college kids are in a class? 25, 30, 15? I mean, it depends. You're going to have more groups. Okay. Yeah, the DeSales professor's name is on it, right? So it was for school. I'm just going further with like the logical reason of why that is done when you're getting a criminology degree. I know you guys get it. I'm just like, oh my God. Okay. More about this internship. Mr. Kohberger applied to the position at Pullman PD before starting his first semester at WSU last fall. Mr. Kohberger applied to the position. Yes, before, right? So before. So he started in August. The fall semester starts in August, usually at most campuses. And so he had to apply the previous spring. He went on to work as a teaching assistant in the criminology department in August as part of his graduate program. It has since emerged that within a month, he was already under investigation by the university because of behavioral problems and a sexist attitude towards women. Look at the source, you guys. Who's the source? News Nation. News Nation is the source. You know what source I want to see? I want to see Washington State University's improvement plans and complaint forms for Bryan Kohberger. Has anybody come across those yet? Oh, I'm not sharing this. I'm sorry. Has anybody come across those yet? Bryan would have applied for the internship in I think it was March, excuse me, March of 2021. March of 2021. The timeline is still problematic for me. He's not even there 3 months and he's stalking out victims. I mean, if you're a true serial killer, I don't think there's a timeline on that. I don't think that's what this crime was about, in my opinion. Okay, so News Nation is letting everybody know that Bryan had these complaints about being sexist towards women. The outlet obtained a detailed timeline of his issues. Oh, News Nation obtained a detailed timeline of his issues in the department, revealing that Mr. Kohberger was warned multiple times about his behavior and was brought into several meetings with professors due to their concerns. So that's one of the next things I'm going to be doing for tomorrow, or as I continue on researching my theory here. Where are these complaints? And I know Washington State University had that massive drop of documents and information, so I would expect they should be in there. I just have not I haven't dove into that hardcore yet. His attitude towards women was cited as a key concern, with the criminal justice student allegedly being rude to women, grading the women that he taught differently to the men, and having a sexist attitude towards females he interacted with at the school. Maybe, I mean, I need to see this verified. In his brief 4-month stint as a teaching assistant, Mr. Kohberger also reportedly got into multiple altercations with one of the professors, Professor John Snyder. Okay. That also should be recorded. Okay. That should be recorded. On December 19th, just 11 days before his arrest, Mr. Kohberger was ultimately fired from his WSU teaching post. Oh, look at the source, reported News Nation. Now, I don't know if it was Kathy's Indie Zone. I know there's a document out there showing that he wasn't fired until January 5th. Who showed that? No? I'm questioning that. I think there is contradictory evidence that he was not fired before the arrest. It happened after he was arrested. Okay, famous picture. Let's take a moment. I mean, We talk so much, I do, about who did this? Who did this? And these kids deserve justice. Maddie deserves justice. Ethan deserves justice. Kaylee deserves justice. Xana deserves justice. And justice to me is the right person. All of the right people, if there's more than one, to be held responsible for this. I don't say that enough. The suspect, now facing the death penalty for 4 counts of murder, was linked to the murders through DNA found on an ice sheath left behind at the scene. Okay, we're throwing that out. There's too many issues with the knife sheath. Cell phone data. Okay, pings within is it 13 miles? Pings in a 13-mile radius, and he shut his phone off. Surveillance video of what prosecutors believe to be his white Elantra leaving the scene after the slayings. Okay, they cannot identify that car to specifically be his. So throw that all out. One of the victim's surviving roommates was also able to partially describe the killer to investigators after she came face to face with him in the aftermath of the murders. Okay, I'm leaving that alone. Make sure I'm not muted. Let's see. In January, police in Washington unsealed search warrants for Mr. Kohberger's apartment in Pullman and his office at Washington State University. The searches were carried out on the same day that he was taken into police custody in Pennsylvania. The unsealed documents reveal that investigators seized a string of items from his home, including, oh my goodness, possible human and animal hair strands, a disposable glove, items with red and brown stains, and a computer. Okay. None of that stuff had DNA on it connecting back to any of the victims. The murder weapon, a fixed blade knife, was not recovered during the searches, and it is still unclear where it may be. Mr. Kohberger is next scheduled to appear in court June 26th for his preliminary hearing, which never happened. Never happened. All right. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think at least there's enough suspicion to further look into this possibility that he did get that internship? Did he get that internship? Oh my gosh. When I plan out my live shows, I will get like all my, my topic, what I want to talk about, all my resources and everything. And then I break it up into 4, I call them segments, but I'm really not segmenting anything out. Just like, how do I want the show to flow? And I've got so much stuff on this. Like yesterday, I didn't get through half of the stuff I had for yesterday's episode. I didn't share any of that stuff today. I moved on to my theory. The stuff that I have to support my theory, I haven't even gone through like half of it. So I still have more information about the internship. What else do I have? Let me see. I'll give you a little teaser for tomorrow. I'm going to come back tomorrow. I have some more information about the internship and the emails. Oh, and then starting to get into Gary Jenkins, right? So we're going to segue into into that because I do know with the new Washington State University document drop, there's been different information exposed. We should start using that word too. Exposed about dates that differ when it comes to who knew what and when, things like that. So that's how I see this moving right now. You sent me a screenshot. Let me check that out. So I hope you guys enjoyed me sharing my theory. Hope you don't think I'm crazy. I'll tell you one thing about this book. I am feeling not crazy anymore. I used to kind of doubt, oh my gosh, is this crazy? Or I don't want to get too crazy conspiratory, theory. I don't feel crazy anymore with information that has come out. There it is. Trying to get to it, Lucy. I think I need to do a restart on my computer. It's bogging things down. Let me see. Oh, you got the date. I can't pull this up right now, but thank you, Lucy. Lucy sent me the screenshot from the university, Washington State University. Sorry if I say that wrong. Washington State University, December 30th, 2022. Was a notice of suspension. Oh, the same day that he was arrested. Thank you. Not before. Not before. Same day he was arrested. And this says suspended. I guess that can mean let go, I guess. Thank you for that, though. I like to verify things. All right, let me see what some of you guys are saying. Crazy awesome. Crazy awesome. You guys are sharing your thoughts. I still am a little crazy. I'm not Idaho 4 case crazy. Me and Carlos always say, everybody's got a little crazy. Everybody's got a little crazy. That's a formality. Yep. Hi, Becky. Hello. There you go. Yeah, you don't suspend somebody who's been fired. Yeah, I don't think they would call it fired. I don't know. When it's connected academically like that, I don't know. I think that probably was the letter right there. Sounds like it. All right, you guys. This concludes my episode or my show sharing my working theory on the main questions that I think are out there right now. Okay. So why was this crime committed? Right. What's involved in that? why Bryan Kohberger? Why not? And if it's not Bryan Kohberger, which I'm tired of like even saying that, like if it's not, like they have not shown solid evidence without solid evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay, they have not shown that. So then why not identify the real killers? Okay. And then why pick Bryan if Bryan was picked? If these are all speculations, I have speculated and given my thoughts and opinions this whole show, except when I read the news articles verifying and defending some of my positions. So, oh, I get it. I used to only be allowed be able to listen during the day too. I appreciate you guys jumping in. We've had a strong number, over 100 the whole time. I'm so thankful. That's amazing. I cannot wait till this book comes out to start talking about it with you guys, to read it. I told Carlos, I'm clearing my schedule. Like I have a schedule. I don't really have a schedule. I said, but I'm doing nothing but reading that book from cover to cover when it comes out. Don't expect dinner. We're ordering out. So, yeah, I have so much appreciation for all of you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I always go back and like look at like all the comments and like how the discussion was going in the chat and everything like that. You can always go back and write just comments on the lives and videos that I have. I always read and respond to those too. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to continue on with this working theory and I will be back tomorrow. And I hope you'll join me back. I hope you will join me back for that. All right. I'll see you guys then. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Subscribe. It's free and keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew now, right where you belong. Join us next time. Same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Be unique, yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like and hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but that's the show. One love, two minds, letting it flow. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. We don't always agree, but you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. We dig deep with crack jokes, we call it like we see. If that's your vibe, you belong here with me. Thanks for watching, hope you felt the spark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. Please hit that like before it gets dark. It's free, it keeps us going strong. You're part of the crew, now right where you belong. Join us next time, same truth, same fire. We bring the heat and never tire. We're typically unique and proud to be a husband and wife and wild to be a husband and wife in podcast harmony. Yeah, that's you and me. Don't forget to like, hit subscribe, it's free. Come back again, we'll be right here with truth and laughs and zero fear.